What's going on, DFS Army? It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake here, and I thought I'll do some Showdown videos. I'm going to do two of them today. Got some good feedback. People wanted to see more of them, so I'm going to try to do them. This first one I'm going to do is just a DK only game, but I saw they had a nice 10K for first prize pool in it for the the New York Knicks at Orlando. So I'm going to cover that one on DraftKings only first. It's a 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game. And then I'll do the one that's the featured one that's both on FanDuel and DraftKings. And that one is Miami at Golden State. So I'll do two of them today. Again, this first one is DraftKings only. FanDuel doesn't have anything out yet. So we'll just focus on this first one. Nice little prize pool if you're down to showdowns. And I enjoy playing them. And hopefully this helps you win some money. So if you like these videos, you want to see more Showdown, let me know in the comments section. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll just keep knocking out videos that you guys want. I want to provide you content that you enjoy. So let's dive right into this and see what we got. All right, again, this is the the New York Knicks at Orlando. Like I said, they got a nice 10K prize pool here. So I thought I would jump in on this one compared to the other ones. And then we'll do another video for the one that's on FanDuel and DraftKings, and I'll break them down on both sides. So as I looked over this earlier and just kind of researched it a little bit, like I said, my rule of thumb on these, I'm only going to throw a cheap guy up at captain if I feel it's necessary to get multiple studs in, and that guy can get me 30 points. I don't think it's necessary on this. I think you're only taking one of two captains, and more so Vooch. You're not getting a ton of savings here going down to Randall. I'm okay going full in 100% Vooch here over Randall, but if I was going to do it and you wanted to play both, I might be like a 70-30 split, something like that. But like I said, we'll throw Vooch at the captain. I really think those are your only two options. You know, there's enough savings on here, and we have some value that I just don't think that you need to go down and dumpster dive for some of these guys, because we do have some value that opens things up. So, and the value, we'll talk about that first. So we know that Mitch Robinson's out with his broken hand, right? And so we know Nerlens Noel is going to start at that power forward position, or in the center position next to Randall. But there's also there's some cheap guys that are coming off the bench. And so Taj Gibson and Obi Toppin, the rookie, are two guys that we can look at playing. I don't think you need to play both of them, but you can if you want to. You know, like I said, Taj Gibson is 2,200 here. He's going to be playing that backup role. 17 and 16 minutes the last two games. Again, had a lot of foul trouble that first game. Didn't have no shots. 6 points and 10 points. You know, if we go over here to Obi Toppin, he's only 1K. And he got you, again, only 6 points against Atlanta. But at Houston, he put up 17. So he has more upside, in my opinion, than Gibson. But if Nerlens Noel gets into foul trouble, one of these guys is going to do something. So this kind of opens up things. So I don't mind playing these guys with Nerlens Noel as well. They're just extremely cheap, and they're getting some minutes here. So let's slide in Obi Toppin just because he's 1K. And again, it just kind of opens everything up. And this is why I don't think you need to dive in and really play a cheap guy up top, because once you do that, we'll go back on the Orlando side here. And again, with no Cole Anthony, Michael Carter-Williams is going to start here. 6,200. You know, he should play over 30 minutes. 21 and 39 in his last two games. But he's a cheap enough tag here that I feel like he's one of the better plays on the slate. You know, point per dollar when it comes to the Showdown. So I do like him. And again, we have a ton of salary left. We're just going to throw Randall in here. I think if I'm making lineups, because there's so much value, I would put Randall and Vooch in every lineup. I would make a rule like, if I'm playing Vooch and captain, I want Randall in utility, because there's just, look at that. Even if this, when you play an Obi Toppin, when you play a Taj Gibson, you have so much salary left. You know, we threw Michael Carter-Williams in there. We got an average of 6,350 left, and there's not a ton of expensive guys on the slate. So, you know, we can look at guys. Here to play. Like Terrence Ross has been on a tear, right? 8,200. He's a guy we can look at if Fournier is out. We've seen what he's done over these past couple games with Fournier out, 40, 33, 37, 31. So if we play a guy like him, we got 4,500 left. You can look at maybe playing a Kim Birch, someone like that. I don't mind sliding in a lineup like this. He's going to play 24, 25 minutes, but I don't mind a guy like that if you're going to play Ross. I prefer Carter Williams just because you're getting a little bit of a cheap tag on him. But again, I don't really mind that. RJ Barrett to me is overpriced at 7,600. Like if I was going to fade a guy, it's probably him. I talked about it in the breakdown. There's just a lot of guards, and with so many guards, he's just not getting the run and the points at. I think he's overpriced in this showdown. Look, 36, 18, 21, and 23 over his last four. I just think that I would much rather go up to Terrence Ross or to Michael Carter Williams. If you want to play him, that's fine. I just don't see, if I was going to play one lineup, he would be kind of a guy at fade, like is with Rose there, in town. There's a ton of guys that they can play at that. Quickly's right here at 5,400. And speaking of this, Quickly and Rose, it's tough to decide. Burks, Rose probably has the most upside of them. Again, 19, 21, 33, and 23. I think if Rose is having a good game, RJ Barrett is not having a good game. So if you don't want to fade him completely, what I would do is make a rule. If I'm playing Derrick Rose in a lineup, I don't want RJ Barrett and vice versa. Peyton is, again, priced up a little bit here. 23, 24, 20, and 29. Tibbs is just playing all these guards like 20 to 25 minutes. So the upside of these guys are pretty rough. And this is, again, why I don't really feel like in this showdown, you really want to play one of these guys up a captain. I want a guy that has a chance to get me a 50 or 60 burger here. So, again, didn't play a lot of minutes here against Phoenix. Kind of got their butts kicked by 20 points. But before that, 65, 50, 61. I think we can see a big game out of Vooch like that. And then Randall's been great as well. 64, only 38 against Houston, but 55 against Washington. It's just these guys have 60-point upside where there's nobody else on this showdown slate that has that upside. So that's where I would go. Again, Barrett and Peyton make me very nervous at price. If Fournier is out, Ross is the kind of guy I would want. And maybe you want to look at taking Michael Carter Williams and then put out and then put Ross in there, or play them together. I think it's a fine way to go. Quickly's a guy, man, 5,400. 28, 31, and 21. But look, again, the same kind of minutes when I showed you Peyton, when I showed you Rose. Tibbs is just playing all these guys like 20 minutes, 22, 21, 22. But he's super efficient in the minutes that he does get. He's a guy that I have no problem playing here. But again, same. Alex Burks, if we go look at his game log, 19, 24, 26, 12, 16, 11. Just his shooting's been bad, but the minutes have just been all over the place. So if we throw Quickly in here in a lineup like this, we got 7,300 left. Can't really get up to anybody that we love. Like you said, we could throw Elf on a shelf here if we wanted to. So we don't. If you don't want to go Toppin, right? I think there's a way that you don't even have to go him, because we could come down here, put Nerlens Noel in here, 2,700 left. Maybe this is where we look at Taj Gibson instead and play him. Another guy that we have to consider that people probably won't be on because he hasn't played. They just signed him to a two-way contract. Here is Chase Randall. Chase Randall, if he plays at 1K, he would play the backup point guard minutes. So it's important that we kind of figure this out, because if we get these guys out and we see Randall playing, if he plays like 15 or 20 minutes, he could be the best value at 1K. So that's another guy we have to consider. So maybe we want to slide him into a lineup, and I don't mind even playing him with Michael Carter Williams. It still leaves you at that awkward 7,100 point. And this is what I mean. You don't have to play these cheap guys up top. It's Vooch and Randall. It's so easy to fit them. And all these other guys are so all over the place. So let's say we throw Randall in there and not Mark Carter Williams. Maybe something happens to him or Randall gets more run. We throw Ross in here with that 5,100 mark. Again, we're at that Birch kind of area, something like that. But I think for the most part, I would be sitting with, again, Vooch as my number one captain, Randall number two, 70-30 split, or all in on Vooch. That's how I want to sit. Noel would be the next guy I would put in with either Vooch or Randall. There's those guys I want 100%. But Noel at 5,600, we know he's going to play around 30 minutes, put up 24 and 23 the last two. He just feels more consistent in the front court than going after some of these guys in the guards, because the guards for the Knicks have just been all over the place. So he would be the next guy. And then, like I said, this would kind of be the core that I would build around. And if I was going to pick one guy else from Orlando I felt comfortable with, it would probably be Michael Carter Williams here. at 6,200. And that leaves you just shy of 4,100 each for these two spots. And we haven't even punted yet. So I don't think that you have to. If you want to come down here and look at maybe, Bullock here has been getting, same thing, 22, 25, 18, 23 minutes. He's cheap at 3,400. You can go like that, and you still have 4,700. Maybe look at you, Kim Birch, to play something like that's a way to go. He's going to see minutes. So there's multiple ways to go with this, but I still feel like if you locked in Vooch, Randall, and Noel, then you're just playing with 3 lineups. So if you built like 20 max entry, right? And I was looking to play 20 lineups, this is a way that if you feel like this is going to be the optimal, or just maybe you just want to lock in 2 and then you only have to fill out 4 spots. To me, that's an easy way to go as well. If you can get, your lock button plays right, you're more than likely going to be able to get the nuts. And again, this is a weird slate for Showdown, dealing with a lot of these cheap guys like Obi Toppin, Randall, Gibson, guys like this that we're going to see, play a little bit here. So there's a lot of ways to go here. It's a little funky, but don't try to fit a cheap guy up top. I think if I left you with anything, that would be it. Just play Vooch or play Randall, and then play around with these guys. When you have all these guys injured like Cole Anthony, Mitch Robb, and again, if Fournier comes back and plays, I don't mind playing Fournier at 7,800. So say he comes back, I don't want Terrence Ross then. I want Fournier. So let's build a lineup like that. We put Fournier in, he plays. I got Vooch there. I think it's going to take some shots away from Michael Carter-Williams. I don't think we have to go there. We throw Noel in. Now we got like 3,250 left because of that, how expensive he was. Now we could still get there at 6,500 left. We have to come down here and probably play an Obi Toppin or a Randall. So we throw one of those guys in. 5,500 right here, perfect. I throw quickly in this lineup right here. To me, he has the most upside of all the guards. So maybe I go like this. Then I come back and say, okay, Randall. So maybe I make multiple lineups with this Fournier plays. I play Fournier, then I come back and make one with Obi Toppin, one with Randall. 2 separate builds, but with how volatile these 1K guys are going to be, we might not 100% know what's going to go on with them. So again, I think the core that I'm going to build around is these 3 guys, and then kind of fill out the last 3 just with how volatile those New York Knicks guards have been, and then those 1K guys that you can kind of slide in. If we get more news when it comes to the minutes with Randall, if he's going to play, if he's not going to play, I'm not sure yet how many minutes he's going to get. Then we can kind of jump on that and decide who's the better 1K value. And again, we'll throw that stuff inside our VIP chat. So if you want to head on over to DFSArmy, sign up, use promo code CashKeg, hit in there. We got all the news up until lock talking. So hope to see you in there. And if you like videos like this, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and look out for the next Showdown video where I will break down to Miami and Golden State Warriors. And we'll do both the DraftKings and FanDuel with a massive 50K up top for DK, and I think it's 20K up top for FanDuel. So big showdowns here. Let's get after it. Hope this helps you win some money, and I will see you on the flip side. Deuces.